and welcome to Fantasies, Fiends, and Fiancés. I'm Scarlett,
And I'm Gross.
and this is the third episode of Marlow's campaign. Last time, we not only met Marlow and Quinn, but also their new comrade Pete, as they began their journey to look for whatever was whispering within Marlow's head. It kept telling him to go after Snack. With that, we will return on their path to a new town.
Nice. So, what we're doing here is we're going ahead and partitioning. That's just the recap and the opening. The actual play itself, we're going to do two parts so that we
At least
break in the
two
middle.
parts. It might be more like three, more so that we can set up and stretch. We're used to doing this at the kitchen table, but I had a couple people request that we do behind the scenes, so don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. Pineapple, 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 bless you. Gesundheit, eggplant.
In case you couldn't see, because you can't see me, but I was about to sneeze. Apparently that's not allowed.
No. He can sneeze, but he can sneeze like a normal person. And not sound like we set an explosion off in the house. Ready? Did you see that thing? Did you see that thing? It just fell. It just fell. Imagine if it had armor. Imagine if it had no armor. I probably should have.
Pete. It's dead. Armor won't help it now.
It's flashes. I mean, you could do the flash with magic, and then the magic would work. I wonder if there's a way to make the magic stones more spot on. And you see Pete pull out his book and start rifling through it.
Igwit, how are you?
You look over and the halfling's kind of sitting back staring at the clouds, using a piece of straw to like pick his teeth on. Do you think orc meat tastes good? Or do you think it's gonna be gamey?
Probably gamey. It is tough. Maybe if you poke
Do
it
you
with
think
something.
it tastes like sea serpent?
Would you like to cut a shank?
Yeah.
Light a fire, spend the night?
No, that'll take too long. But I'll cut off the thigh. You see him jump up and literally go over to the orc and just slice through his loincloth area with his axe. Then he comes back, goes, when we stop for the night, I'm going to cook this up. As he throws it in his knapsack, whatever it is that he cut off.
Right. Let's keep moving.
With that, you continue northeast on the road.
Would this count as a short rest?
Would you like to take a short rest? It's going to delay your journey.
I'm more wondering if the travel time would count as a...
No. Because you are traveling and unable to rest, it would not count as a short rest as far as I'm concerned.
Can I do a ritual on the move?
Which ritual did you want to do?
Find familiar.
I would say that it's not going to take you the normal 10 minutes that it would, but I could say over the course of an hour or two, you might be able to be pointed in the right direction. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Okay. I am not 100% sure on remembering what Find Familiar does.
I was gonna go for a raven.
So this ritual actually normally takes an hour. My only issue is that it's within 10 feet. I'm still going to allow you to do it, but I'm going to say it's actually going to take you more like 4 hours.
However long we are traveling.
It's not going to take you the entire time that you're traveling. But I'll say that it does take you a bit of time, and as it hits probably about midday, you find yourself coming up to a pond, and Pete's a little perplexed. This isn't even really a pond, it's more of a puddle, just a large puddle in a field, and he goes, there's never been a puddle here, I've never seen that before. I wonder, and he pulls out his book and he rifles through and he starts writing a bunch of notes. But as he does, you see a raven fly from the faraway trees and land between the walking path and where this puddle turned pond is. There's pretty much nothing else around besides this raven, and it's looking directly at you.
I'm not sure what to do.
Are you going to approach it, talk to it, stare back?
I would probably telepathically communicate with him.
Give me an Arcana check. Because this wasn't a traditional way to do the ritual, I'm gonna have you just do a quick check for me.
Arcana, you said?
Okay. So what are you gonna say to your new bird friend?
Probably something along the lines of, are you the one I called?
You look like you're running too close. I heard someone was in need of a friend.
I could always use a companion on my quest.
And what should I call you, dear companion?
I am Marlow.
You're better as what?
Am I near a swamp? What?
You are a swamp? I'm gonna say it again. Literally what I'm saying is, are you a swamp? Because you just said your name is Marlow. You are a swamp?
No, I am a water genasi.
You are of the islands.
Yes.
And you've been there time before. They have never been.
At this point, I would probably raise my hand out for the bird perch on it.
You see the bird lift up and fly over to you. And then your arm, it kind of pecks at it a little bit, and the water splashes out a little. And then it turns its head to you and goes, "You will not be able to pronounce my name because you are not of there. What would you prefer to think?"
I don't think calling you bird would be a good idea.
Bird is a word. I said a bird is a word. I said a bird. Cross, I love you, but why did you not?
I didn't think I would have to name it.
I got this covered. Put the phone down. Put the phone down. If you are unsure of a name for me, there is something someone called me once. They called me a bag of feathers.
So you wish for me to call you Bag?
Or Inky Clothes.
Ink it is.
A very fitting name. It is liquid. Is it not?
Yes. I now have the familiar ink.
Ink's gonna fly over and just like perch on your bag as you are walking around. Alright, kitten.
I found my cup of water.
I'm gonna call a break there, mostly because I'm having trouble finding the part I need to continue on the quest.
That is fine.
I like keeping it family friendly because sometimes it can be hard to find a D&D podcast that a kid can listen to, and if the kid is into D&D, it would be nice to have something for them to listen to and get involved with, because kids, just like adults, like stuff like that.
Here's my pencil. Is that okay?
No.
He really is saying no.
My pencil. Can I have the pencil? Alright, let me know when you're ready to get back to it.
I'm ready.
With their new friend, Ink, along with them, Marlow and his companions continue on their path to find Riznak, the gnome warrior that they were told about.
How long will it take to get to Malfortin from here?
As Pete told you before, it was going to be about a two-day journey there.
And this is still the first day?
Yes. Are you going to attempt to make camp for the night or continue traveling?
We're going to make camp for the night. I don't want to be exhausted when we get there.
Okay.
When we do make camp, I am going to use one of my cantrips, Molder,
Okay.
to make us makeshift tents.
Alright.
And I'm also, after doing that, I'm also going to do a ritual alarm.
Alright.
Just set it up around the camp so that it would wake us up with a loud ringing noise if anyone crosses it.
I am going to have you roll 2 concentration checks for alarm. Because while you're setting them up, Quinn's going to repeatedly ask what you're doing.
Oh boy. Oh, there is one on the table already. So, concentration, you said?
Yes.
That would be a 7.
Alright, so your first attempt to set up the alarm, Quinn asks you what you're doing. And then Peter, realizing that Quinn asked about magic, comes up sprinting over to you and goes, Are you doing a ritual? What type of ritual? Oh, you're doing the alarm ritual. Do you need help? Can I learn this from you? Is this one of those things that I can learn from you? It's so cool. So what are you doing? What does it take? Can you tell me about it? And you have to take about 15 minutes to explain to him, answering all of his questions, what it is, before Quinn, in boredom, goes, Isn't this the tankard we got from the bar? And that distracts him. Roll your second concentration.
That's a 13.
Alright, you're able to successfully finish the alarm. I'm going to assume that since you have the alarm set up, that,
we don't really need anyone standing guard.
Okay. So are you setting up 3 rock tents? Is it just 2 rock tents? Is it a single rock tent?
I was going to set up 3 rock tents.
Alright.
In a triangle shape around what would be a campfire.
Okay. So you do so, and then
a giant circle around the edge. It says a 20-foot cube, so.
After Quinn finishes cooking his orcish hot dog.
Right.
You all retire for the night. Roll a perception for me.
A perception?
Or actually, let me see alarm real quick.
Anything that enters the zone that's small or bigger would create the ringing noise of the bell.
So my only question is how you set up the warded area, because it says a 20-foot cube, but you have triple rock tents.
Yes, the rock tents aren't that far away from the fire. All in all, I have it more like a 10-foot radius for a circle, which would be 20 feet, but it's not a cube. It's spherical. It's actually smaller than a cube. But
yeah. Which would still fit in the cube.
Yeah.
Okay.
The rock tents are just there in case it rains or something.
Okay. So around midnight. Your bell awakens you. What are you gonna do?
Well, did they wake up to the audible alarm?
Both of them slept straight through it.
Oh, lordy. Using thaumaturgy, which is a cantrip, in a booming voice, 3 times louder than my normal voice, I'm gonna be like, "Who goes there?" And I'm hoping that'll wake them up.
Alright. So Pickle Pete wakes up and what about cantrip? And Quinn's still fast asleep. However, you hear rustling and sniffing, and all of a sudden you hear, like, scratching on the side of your tent, and it goes harder and harder, and it adds more and more pressure, and it actually causes some of the earth that your tent is made out of to, like, crumble on top of you, though the tent it causes the tent on top of you to start crumbling, but it keeps its integrity.
Okay. Pickle Pete is within 30 feet of me, correct?
Yes, he's actually exiting his tent.
He's going to hear in his head, "What is it?" in my voice.
Are you actually able to see Pickle Pete from where you are? Or are you just kind of hoping he knows?
Oh, I was trying to do the telepathic communication within 30 feet thing. I don't know how that would work, because it doesn't actually say that I have to physically see them.
Okay. Pigs can talk? How did you learn to talk? Why do you sound like Marlow? Oh no. I need you to roll initiative.
So,
You picked up one I was using for it. That's a good one.
my initiative would be 21.
Okay. So you will be going first.
And apparently it's pig.
That's what he said. What's your AC?
Yes. I have AC.
What's your AC? I actually need to know.
12. I'm not actually sure why it's 12.
I don't know.
Oh, because I'm not in normal. I'm not in normal robes. They have me in light armor. Because I started with light armor, that's right. I'm in like patchwork leather. Not very protective, but it's something.
Apologies, I'm currently writing down order. So. So what are you gonna do?
Hmm.
I will say that depending on how you're lying in the tent, it's gonna take you half your speed to get up.
This is toughy because I can't see. I can't use Molder to damage it because that's not available as an option. I can't like knock it over.
Well, you know that it's right on the other. You know at least one of them is right on the other side.
Can I hold my action?
What action would you like to hold?
I'd like to hold Primal Savagery.
What is Primal Savagery for those of us who don't know?
It is a cantrip. It's a melee cantrip. And I basically attack. I cause my hand to turn into like claws, and I make an attack. And if I hit, it deals acid damage.
Okay.
But basically, I was going to hold it for it to break through the earth. This is digging at the earth.
What would you like to trigger?
It making an opening in the earth tent that I'm in.
Okay. So Marlow is holding his action.
This is exactly what it does if you want to read it.
I don't need to read it, but I can. However, outside the tent, you hear Pete go, "What are you doing? No, don't do that." And he takes 4 points of damage. If I can find a pencil, which I know I took out here. You can hear what sounds like an axe colliding with the earth. Right as Peter cries out in pain. Do that. He notices.
Can I telepathically send a message to Quinn?
Quinn is now awake, so you can certainly try.
Just what's going on?
Quinn's not really going to respond because he has already begun to rage because someone dare wake him from his sleep.
So I'm not getting through to him. This is why I didn't bother with the telepathy.
He is going to rage and go after the creature who is currently attacking Peter. And because he's raged, he gets advantage. He's a halfling. He's a halfling.
He is. He does have halfling luck.
I just rolled double ones.
He has halfling luck, so he gets to reroll one.
You hear almost a distressing sound as what sounds like the very audible sound, the very audible noise of Quinn's axe slashing in to a creature. So that's going to be 8, 12, 14. So you hear, "Arrgh!" and then something fall to the ground.
The hell was that noise?
So after that, you hear what sounds like stampeding hooves. And at first you hear Quinn just, you think you can hit me, you idiot! Right before you hear a, ugh.
Apparently, whatever it was hit him.
And he takes 10 damage. And then it is back to your turn.
Lovely. Is the thing still scratching at the...
No.
They successfully distracted it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to mold earth my tent away and get up.
Okay. Is mold earth an action or a bonus action?
Fortunately, it's a full action.
Okay. Would you like to do anything with your bonus action?
What's here? Now that I can see.
You see 4 boars, one of which is laying dead at Quinn's, about 5 feet away from Quinn.
Is there one really close to me?
There's one that you could easily reach. Like you could, they're facing Quinn. One of them's facing Pete. But I would say that at least one of them's within touching distance of you. Like if you were able to melee attack, you'd be able to attack them.
I'm gonna use my bonus action
Okay.
and cast. How long have we been asleep?
Oh, you probably made you probably made camp around 8 o'clock at night, so I would say you probably got about 4 hours of sleep.
Which is enough for a short rest, which will reset my spells.
Yes.
Then I'm going to cast Hex on the one nearest me. It's a bonus action. I get to curse it, and I get to choose an ability check.
Okay.
I'm going to choose Strength, in case Quinn wants to grapple it. It'll have disadvantage on any Strength check.
Okay.
Check, not saving throw.
Alright. With that, you see one of the boards go to, thrust its tucks. You see one of the boards go to headbutt Peter, but Peter is able to just barely dodge out of the way, even with the injury from before. Not enough. That's still gonna be enough to hit. Five. Six, 7. So you see Peter swing down and try and hit the boar in front of him again, only to miss and hit the other side of the boar where his makeshift tent meets the ground. Quinn, on the other hand, cleaves his axe straight through the board, screaming out, "I'm gonna eat it like a king!" You see Quinn cleave through the board, just crying out, "We're eating bacon in the morning!" As he just slices the boar that you put the hex on into. It just happened to be the one.
That's fun.
On 11 and 11. Okay. Alright, apparently it's the night of doubles. Okay. That's just alright. Okay. The boar to the other side of Quinn bucks up into him, and his tusk drags across Quinn's leg and begins to bleed as he takes 6 damage. And it will be your turn.
That was Quinn taking the damage?
Yes.
The one that just hit Quinn,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my bonus action to shift the hex over.
Okay.
The hex hasn't faded unless I don't have it on a target for over a turn. And then as soon as I shift it over, I'm going to use my Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
Because there's none next to me.
You can certainly try. Is it not a saving throw?
It is not a saving throw, it's a spell attack.
Okay.
Ranged spell attack, so I get +4 to this.
I would not recommend using those ones. I don't remember which one rolled the ones more often.
What's that?
A 9.
+4 is 13.
That will hit.
So it will take 1d10 plus 1d6. Altogether 8 damage.
No other bonus or anything?
Not yet. I don't have that invocation. I could only get 2. On next level up, I think I get my 3rd.
Alright. You see the blast go up into the boar, and the boar calls out, but it's still trying to attack Quinn, even with the damage.
Keep in mind that it's still now strength cursed.
Yes.
Because that carries wherever I put my pets.
Before you can even celebrate the disaster befalling one of the last 2 boars, you see the one that has engaged with Peter deal another 7 damage to him, leaving him bloody and heaving for breath. Even so, he raises the axe above his head. Ha!
What is it, a nat 20?
Sorry. He heaves the axe above his head and throws it down in front of him. Alright. The axe comes down and cleaves into the boar's skull. The boar doesn't even make a sound as he seems to just freeze as death sets in upon him.
So that's 2 down.
3.
3 down, sorry.
He's still raging. He's still raging.
Yes.
Anyone want to tell? Hello. We currently don't respond just because we are recording, but we will check it in a moment. But he is a halfling, and that is a net 1, and he's also still raging. So.
Well, he's not a berserker barbarian. You wouldn't get that. It's a berserker
He's a
barbarian.
halfling. Quinn's a halfling.
Yeah, I'm talking the advantage on checks.
I have it written down that he has advantage.
You created your own custom thing, so.
Advantage on. Oh, I may have been rolling wrong then. But he is a halfling, so he got to reroll.
Yeah.
So I will keep that in mind for the future. Thank you for correcting me. But he did actually roll enough to hit the board.
He rerolls a nat 1, so I imagine that the reroll would be higher than a nat 1.
That's 3, 6, 7, 8. You see his axe come down along the side of his body as he slices off the rib and the boar falls over dead. He just picks it up and goes, "See, I told you we're having bacon in the morning," and puts it over his back and goes into the tent to go to sleep. And you like immediately hear him collapse in the tent. Just Would you like to rebuild your tent and try to get some more sleep?
Yes. The alarm spell doesn't actually end for until 8 hours, so I'm just gonna rebuild my tent and head back to bed.
Alright, with that, Pete is gonna take a swig, he's gonna head back to his own tent, and you are all going to go back to sleep. And as our party takes its rest for the night, we will end there to meet next week. Please stay tuned. Please hold on for our sponsor, as well as where you can reach us at.